Hey everyone, it's James. It's April 9th, about 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is the 4-hour chart of Bitcoin, BTC, USD on the Bitfinex exchange. First of all, this is not investment advice. Second of all, I like to just go over the overall market, and what we've had is the bubble phase here, and then we've put in a series of lower highs and lower lows to accompany those. You can just trace out the bottom and see that. So what I've posed in my prior videos is, do we put in a lower low under the 6,000 level? I do think it's possible. So let me just kind of step back real quick. What we've had ever since this 6,000 bottom is a continuation. We have a high, we have a soft shoulder, boom, downward. We have a high, a soft shoulder, boom, downward. A high, a soft shoulder, boom, downward. The same thing. It happens in all markets. So like in other markets, it doesn't matter what it is. When you see this high and then you see this soft shoulder and price fails to break, that is a sign of weakness. That looks like a smiley face, but that's not what we're doing. We're doing more of a frown, because once this happens, it shows that the market has run out of buyers and that sellers are going to dominate this market. And clearly you can see exactly what happens. Let's box this out, boom, almost two times the distance to the downside. Box this out. This was more than 2 times. This is like 2.5 times the distance to the downside. So what I think is going to happen here is that we're boxing out right here. Okay, we can see the box, or the rectangle, we'll call it. And what I think is 2 times the downside. So my logical assumption is putting us right in maybe like, you know, around 5.755. I just put that 5.5 there. I'm not going to get hung up on 5.5. What I think that we're going to do is break 6,000 and go somewhere around 5.7 to 5.5. Just depends on exactly how fast price falls. But I think we're just having the same repetition of the same pattern, and the little nuances, you know, in between, like there's little differences that are occurring here in these areas. But I'm not going to get hung up on that. You can clearly see the direction of price. This red line right here. Okay, let me just, those red lines right there. This is me framing in price action. So price action is what I call the bar, okay? Or you can call it a candle, or if you're using point and figure, like, you know, it doesn't matter. Those like charts encapsulate price action between buyers and sellers through bars and candles and so forth. That is what these lines are, okay? So we have lines that are showing the action and reaction between price. So where price is more than likely going to run out of energy to the upside and to the downside. So, and that's what we see here, is this is our center line, okay? And you can see that price hit it and then failed horribly. So typically when this occurs, there's more price movement toward the downside to touch the next line in place, which puts us down in that area, okay? So that's just to reiterate, that's just like adding to the reasoning behind my logical assumption that we're headed downward, because we can see it. Not only that, but you can see the overall trend ever since December of last year. We've put in lower highs and lower lows. So all these things are coming together, and I'm not seeing a change in price action. All right, now the positive, let me kind of step back a little bit here and zoom out. Okay, let me trace these lines. So we have this line right here. This was the former downtrend line. Okay, and then let me change my marker. This is the new downtrend line. So you can see what's happening is that price is coming from here and turning. Okay, so I do think that we are close to either making a large consolidation that will push lower or higher, or that a large consolidation that'll ultimately push lower, or we're forming a bottom here in this market. However, I do think there's more downside to go. Now, because we put in a lower low, like so, right? Like something like this, okay, does not necessarily mean it's the end of the market. This happens a lot, to where price will drop, boom, boom, everyone gets freaked out, and then you have the W, right? Right here, W, boom. you can see this. Now I'll explain this too. I'll show you the W's that are forming in here. Oh, sorry, it's right here. Boom, boom. Right here, and then this same thing, right? So you have these W's that are forming on the chart consistently. This happens in other markets too. It's called an undercut. And but the problem is though, is that when Bitcoin does the undercut, it's just one bar. It's like one push bar, and that's it. It's always just one bar. It's like one big seller one big buyer comes in and just says, boom. And then everyone just piles in. They think it's going to the moon because they have the media, they're listening to the media, blah, blah, blah. And they just get hammered immediately every single time because it's just a thin run. There's no base. There's nothing forming here. There's literally 1 to 2 bars that completely change and negate the downtrend action. And that's what we've had. That's what we've had prior here. Now this has had one big bar, form a little consolidation, and then a couple big bars, and then bam, you see how it keeps getting hammered every single time. It keeps getting hammered, and people keep falling for it every single time because it's literally that easy to do. And whoever, if there's one person or multiple people doing this, or whether they're using bots, it does not matter. The thing is that you can clearly see the repetition of this pattern occurring, and people keep changing like they somehow think it's going to break this time and everyone's going to become mega rich. But what I see is the same exact pattern. So that's why I think we're going down. We keep seeing the same exact pattern. That's why I'm talking about this pattern. Now, the thing is that where we're at right now, hang on, let me change my marker color to pink. It comes out a little bit better on the screen. So if we start to base out horizontally, right, instead of taking out the 6,500 zone and breaking downward, we hit 6,500 and bounce up and just kind of churn a little sideways, then that to me will be a positive indication. I'll take that as a positive indication. If we do something like this, I'm going to take this as a negative indication. The reason why is because I think we're just creating more of a larger bear flag to suck in as many small traders as we possibly can into the Titanic, and then wham, get hammered really hard, like really hard. But just like we've seen in the past, just like we've seen in the past. But anyways, those are the two outcomes I see occurring. I see either a sideways horizontal consolidation, all right, which I would take as a positive indication, or I see price breaking back downward to that. Now, I'll give you the upside is that if price can somehow miraculously break out of the 7,000 range and continue trading higher, it should run out of energy about 7,800. But I think the probability for this area is maybe around 20%. So I think I would say more than like 50% is that we're going down. And then the remainder of like what is that, 30% left now would be price going horizontal. So if you ask me what my final direction is on the price action, I think we're headed down, right? I don't think we're going to I don't think we're going to form a horizontal consolidation, and I definitely do not believe we're heading up. But I want to give you all the numbers so you can make your own educated decision, and you can have all the numbers based on my analysis. So that's it for tonight. If you enjoyed the video, you like the content, please like, comment, subscribe, follow. I know tonight's video was just a little later than normal, but you'll have to give me some time because I am very busy. But anyways, if you want to join my free Slack channel, which I'd highly suggest anybody who's interested in cryptocurrency joining, you can find more about that at geometriccharts.com. At the bottom, I have my links to different social media accounts and the free Slack channel. You can just click that link, join the Slack channel. There's over 195 members. I think there's almost 200 people now because quite a few people joined last night too. But anyways, that doesn't matter. What matters is that it's a friendly community who is interested in cryptocurrency. They share their opinions, they share news, charts, etc. It's a really nice place to be if you're interested in trading cryptocurrency or just understanding the market as a whole. I post my videos there, so that way you always get updated, in case your notifications don't work on social media outlets. But anyways, that's it for tonight. I hope everybody has a great day or a great night, depending on where you are. I thank you for your time. I thank you for your support, and I will talk to everybody tomorrow.